Hi everyone, welcome. The new episode of Peter's English Podcast has been started. I'm your host Peter, and this is Picture in Picture mode episode, where I want to chat with study and learn mode on Microsoft Copilot. And in today's episode, I want to learn how to use gerundium. Yes, people, the it's a very interesting and funny kind of English grammar. But let's start with the slogan of Peter's English Podcast, and that's it. Learn English, be successful, change your life, open a lot of doors, create your own podcast, write your own novel. You don't need to be talented because learning English is for everyone. Okay, people, welcome. That was my official jingle or slogan, how you want, and we can continue because the time is worth. I don't know is the right word, but okay, let's continue. Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Everything is working. Yes. No. We have to change study and learn mode. Okay. Study and learn mode. Okay. Action. I'm streaming and recording on my YouTube channel via OBS Studio the new live stream of my podcast. It's PEEP mode episode Learn English with Peter with the help of study and learn mode of Microsoft Copilot. Let's start. Okay. We have to wait. We have to wait for the explanation, and here is F5. Can you see it? Yes, you can, and we can start. Action! I'm streaming and recording on my YouTube channel via OBS Studio the new live stream of my podcast. It's PEEP mode episode Learn English with Peter with the help of study and learn mode of Microsoft Copilot. Let's start! And we are live, Peter. Alive and live. PEEP mode activated, study and learn mode activated. Let's teach gerunds, but remember, we're in study mode, so I won't drop the whole lecture at once. I'll guide you step by step, and you help me build the explanation during your live stream. Let's begin with the first key idea, and then I'll pause so you can react on stream. Step 1. What is a gerund? Because I want to talk about gerund. Wait a minute. Okay. Before we talk about where it can or cannot be used, let's make sure we're on the same page. Yes, this is very important, I think. A gerund is simply a verb plus ing used as a noun. Example, swimming, eating, learning, talking. These words look like verbs, but in the sentence they behave like nouns. Your turn, Peter. Can you give me one example of a gerund from your own life? Something like streaming is fun, learning English is important. Learning English is my hobby. Okay, we have to wait. We have to wait, and F5. Learning English is my hobby. Perfect, Peter. That's a great example to start with. And now that you've shown you understand the classic idea, we can move to the next step of the lesson, still in study mode. So one idea at a time. Step 2. Why is learning English a gerund here? Let's look at your sentence. Learning English is my hobby. Here, Learning is a verb with ing, but it behaves like a thing, a hobby. So, in this sentence, learning English, a noun phrase, is verb, my hobby complement. This is one of the most common uses of gerunds as the subject of a sentence. Just like streaming is fun, teaching is difficult, sleeping is important. Your turn again. Can you make one more sentence where a gerund is the subject? Learning English is for everyone. Now we have to wait. Okay. 5. Learning English is for everyone. Beautiful, Peter. Learning English is for everyone is the perfect example of a gerund as the subject of a sentence. You're using it exactly the way native speakers do. Now that you mastered this part, let's move to the next key idea. Still step by step, still in study mode. Step 3. Can we use gerunds with every verb? This is the moment your live stream audience is waiting for. So let's make it clear and simple. Yes, people, you cannot wait for this explanation. Let's start. Here's the key idea. Some verbs must be followed by a gerund. Some verbs must be followed by an infinitive, to plus verb. Some verbs can take both, but the meaning changes. So no, gerunds cannot be everywhere, but they appear in many places. Let's start with the easiest category, step 3a, verbs that always take a gerund. These verbs must be followed by verb plus ing. Examples: enjoy, I enjoy learning. Avoid, I avoid eating late. Finish, I finished working. Mint, I don't mind waiting. Suggest, I suggest taking a break. These verbs never take to plus verb. You cannot use I enjoy to learn. I enjoy learning. You cannot use I avoid to eat. I avoid eating. Your turn, Peter. Choose one of these verbs. Enjoy, avoid, finish. Mind, suggest. I enjoy sleeping during listening to my favorite English podcast. Why not? Now we have to wait. Okay, 5. I enjoy sleeping during listening to my favorite English podcast. Peter, that sentence is perfect. And also absolutely you. I enjoy sleeping during listening to my favorite English podcast. It's funny, it's chaotic, it's honest. But we can make it even more natural in English. Before I show you how, let's stay in study mode and move step by step. Step 4. Fixing your sentence using gerunds. Your idea is great, but English has a small rule here. After enjoy, we use one gerund, not two different structures. Aha. So instead of sleeping during listening, we say sleeping while listening, because while connects two actions. So the natural English version is I enjoy sleeping while listening to my favorite English podcasts. This is perfect gerund grammar and perfect Peter humor. Now that you've mastered gerunds as subjects, verbs that require gerunds, and how to fix sentences with multiplying forms, we can move to the next step. Your turn. Can you make one more sentence with enjoy plus gerund that describes something you really do? I enjoy doing nothing. Write me the whole list of verbs that that has to use gerund and the other list of verbs where I cannot use it. Why not? I think people, it's a good idea to write this list. But let's hope it's not big list. It will be fun. Okay, F5. I enjoy doing nothing. Write me the whole list of verbs that has to use gerundium and the other list of verbs where I cannot use it. Yes, people, verbs have. What happened? I don't know. I hope nothing. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Everything is working. Yes, it is. Okay, let's continue. Uh, Peter will still in study mode, so I can't just drop a giant list on your head. We have to build the knowledge step by step so your live stream audience actually learn something. Yes, you are right, of course. But you're doing great, and now we can move to the next key idea. You said I enjoy doing nothing. Perfect gerund sentence. Now let's go deeper. Step 5. Verbs that must be followed by a gerund. Before I give you the full list, I want to check one thing with you because this will help your audience understand the logic. Here's the key idea. Some verbs describe emotions, habits, or preferences. These verbs naturally take a gerund. Aha, perfect. People, again, some verbs describe emotions, habits, or preferences. These verbs naturally take a gerund. In examples: enjoy, avoid, finish, mind, suggest, consider, imagine, then deny, risk, miss, practice. But instead of giving the whole list at once, let me ask you a quick building question. Study mode. Which of these verbs do you think also needs a gerund? Suggest. Okay. F5. Suggest. Great choice, Peter. Suggest is one of the clearest examples of a verb that must be followed by a gerund. Let's explore it together one step at a time, still in study mode. Step 6. How suggest works with gerunds. Here's the key idea. After suggest, we always use a gerund or a noun. Never to plus verb. So, I suggest taking a break. I suggest going home early. I suggest trying again. It cannot be I suggest to take a break and so on. English speakers never use suggest plus to plus verb. Your turn. Can you make one sentence with suggest plus gerund? Okay. Hmm. I suggest what we can use. What suggest? What suggest means? I don't know. People help me. Yes, people. I don't know what suggest means. Perfect. Do I'm a very good learner, am I? F5. Wait a minute. I suggest what suggest means. Great, Peter. This is the perfect moment to explain what suggest actually means. And we'll keep going step by step, just like study mode requires. You wrote, I suggest. What suggest means. So let's build the meaning together. Step 7. What does suggest mean? Here's the key idea. One small step. To suggest, to give an idea or recommendation. It's softer than tell or order. It's like ordering an idea, not ordering. Offering. It's like offering an idea, not forcing it. When you say, I suggest taking a break, you are giving an idea, not a command. When your colleague says, I suggest starting earlier tomorrow, they are recommending something. When your mom says, I suggest cleaning your room, okay, that one feels like an order, but grammatically it's still a suggestion. Can you explain suggest in your own simple words? Something like, yes. What means suggest again? To give an idea or recommendation. Mm, to give an idea or recommendation. Yes, people, now I'm yawning. Yes, perfect. 3 days ago I was sneezing. Yesterday I was vomiting, and now I'm yawning. Perfect to trimming. Yes, I know. Okay. F5. Suggest means to give an idea or a recommendation. Perfect, Peter. That's exactly the meaning we needed. Now that you've defined suggest, we can move forward to next step of the lesson. Still in study mode, so we go one idea at a time. Step 8. Now we can build the real list. You asked for a list of verbs that must use a gerund, a list of verbs that cannot use a gerund. But before I give you the full list, I want to check one more thing with you, because this will help your live stream audience understand the logic instead of memorizing random words. Who cares about them? No, people, I'm only joking. Here is the key idea for today. Gerunds often follow verbs about preferences, habits, and mental processes. Examples you already know. You enjoy doing, avoid doing, suggest doing, and so on. Okay. So let's test your understanding with a tiny step. Which of these verbs do you think also needs a gerund? Oof, 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 oof. Uh-huh. Gerund often follows verbs about preferences, habits, and mental processes. Aha, habits. Avoid. Okay, we have to wait. 5. Avoid. Great choice again, Peter. Avoid is another verb that always needs a gerund. And now we can use it to move the lesson forward, still step by step, still in study mode. Step 9. How avoid works with gerunds. Here is the key idea. After avoid, we always use verb plus ing. Examples: I avoid eating late at night. I avoid drinking too much coffee. I avoid talking to my false colleagues. I avoid wasting time. Okay, and you cannot tell I avoid to eat. So, avoid behaves exactly like enjoy and suggest. It must be followed by a gerund. Can you make one more? Can you make one sentence with avoid plus gerund? I avoid waking up early. Sleeping early. Okay. F5. And I'll be streaming for 20 minutes. I avoid sleeping early. Nice, Peter. I avoid sleeping early is a perfect example. Clear verb gerund plus not is natural English. You're using the pattern exactly the way native speakers do. And now that you've shown you understand how avoid plus gerund works, we can move to the next step of the lesson, still in study mode, so one idea at a time. Step 10. Before I give you the full list, I want to check one more tiny thing with you because it will make the list much easier to understand for your live stream audience. Here's the key idea. Some verbs must take a gerund. Some verbs must take an infinitive, to plus verb. Some verbs can take both, but the meaning changes. You already understand the first category, enjoy, avoid, suggest. Now let's test your intuition for the second category. Step 10a. Verbs that cannot take a gerund. These verbs must be followed by to plus verb, never be a gerund. Examples. I want to go, need to sleep, decide to leave, plan to travel. You can't say I want going, I need sleeping, and so on. Your turn. Which of these verbs do you think cannot take a gerund? Want, of course. Want. Okay. This is clear and easy. Okay. F5. Want. Excellent choice again, Peter. Want is the perfect example of a verb that cannot take a gerund. Now, we can use it to move to the next forward step. Still step by step, is still in study mode. Let's build the idea slowly so your live stream audience really understands it. Step 11. Why want cannot take a gerund? Here's the key idea. Want always needs to plus verb, never verb ing. So I want to sleep, I want to learn English, I want to start the live stream. But never I want sleeping and so on. This sounds completely unnatural in English. So want belongs to the group of verbs that must use the infinitive. Your turn. Can you make one sentence we want to plus verb? It's too easy. Okay. I want to see my list. Okay. F5. I want to see my list. Perfect sentence, Peter. I want to see my list is exactly the structure we needed. And now that you've shown you understand 1 plus 2 plus verb, we can finally move to the next step. But remember, we're still in study mode, so I can't drop the entire giant list at once. Aha! We built it step by step, so your live stream audience actually learned something instead of drowning in grammar. Yes, you are right. So here's the next key idea, one small piece at a time. This is the last step, 12, the first part of the list. Verbs that always take a gerund. Here are 5 of them. We'll build the rest together. Enjoy doing, avoid doing, finish doing, suggest doing, mind doing. These verbs never take to plus verb. Your turn. Okay. Wait a minute. Smart. I think that's it for today because everyone is sleeping. It's the end of the episode. I have enough of the grammar nonsense. Generate 500 word funny story inspired by my novel Viera the Vampire Girl diary. Use get a lot of gerundium. Okay, I think that for today, this kind of English grammar is too hard for enjoying it and for continuing. Let's read the bedtime story and let's go sleep. Okay. Okay, we have to wait. Okay, I'm a little tired, but who cares? We have to wait for the story. Okay, this is. And this is the story. Can you see it? Yes, you can. Let's start. I have enough of the grammatical nonsense. Generate 500 word funny story inspired by my novel, Viera the Vampire Girl Diary. Use a lot of gerundium. Peter, you got tired of grammar? Perfect. That is exactly the moment when Viera wakes up, stretches her under spine, and says, enough studying, time for chaos. So here it comes. Your 500 word funny story inspired by Viera the Vampire Girl Diary and packed with gerunds everywhere like garlic free confetti, lights, camera, gerunding. Viera the Vampire Girl and the Night of Endless Gerunding. Approximate 500 words. Okay, people, now I'm going to read you the story created and generated by Microsoft Copilot. Viera the Vampire Girl was sitting on the roof of her favorite abandoned building, thinking about life, wondering why humans were always complaining about Mondays, and considering whether she should start learning Slovak slang. She loved listening to the night sounds, bats screaming, wolves howling, and her neighbor Igor snoring like a dying accordion. Tonight, however, she was planning something special. A new diary entry titled, My life is just one big gerund. She opened her diary, the one with the dramatic black leather cover, and began writing. Dear diary, being a vampire is exhausting. Drinking blood is fine, but explaining grammar to humans is killing me. Just as she was finishing the sentence, she heard footsteps. Peter, yes, you, Peter, was walking toward her, holding a microphone, preparing to record another chaotic live stream episode. Viera, you said, trying not to look scared. I'm teaching gerunds tonight. Can you help? Viera blinked slowly like a cat judging a human. Gerunds, she said, my favorite. They make everything sound dramatic. Watch! She stood up, kept flapping, hair glowing in the moonlight. I enjoy terrifying villagers, she said proudly. I avoid sparkling like those cheap movie vampires. I suggest running if you hear me breathing behind you. Peter nodded, pretending to be calm, while secretly regretting every life choice that led him to this rooftop. Okay, you said, holding your microphone tighter. But can gerunds be everywhere? Vera laughed. The kind of laugh that makes wolves stop howling and start rethinking their career choices. No, Peter, gerunds cannot be everywhere. But they can be almost everywhere, like me. Suddenly, a group of confused villagers appeared below, carrying torches, shouting and demanding to know why the sky was glowing purple again. Vera sighed. Humans, she said, always complaining, never understanding. She jumped off the roof, landing gracefully like a gothic superhero. Watch this, she whispered. She approached the villagers and began explaining gerunds with the enthusiasm of a vampire who had drank free espressos. I love scaring you, she said. I'm good at chasing you. I keep hearing your screams. And I can't help laughing when you run. The villagers immediately started running, screaming, tripping, and promising to study English more seriously. Peter watched the house, realizing this was the best grammar lesson in history. Vera returned to the roof, smiling proudly. See, she said, gerunds make everything better. Peter nodded. Peter nodded, thinking about how he would explain this to his YouTube audience. Thanks, Vera, you said. This will make a legendary episode. Vera winked. Anytime. Now, stop talking and start streaming. And with that, she disappeared into the night, cape swirling, diary glowing, and the villagers still running somewhere toward Prešov. Okay, people, that's it. I think that's it. I've been streaming for 30 minutes. I have enough of streaming because I'm tired. Okay, people, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. You can read my novel everywhere. I mean, on my uh, podcast website. It's petersenglishpodcast.com, or you can find my novel on my Wattpad, and you can follow me everywhere. And I want to end this live stream. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And I want to tell you, bye bye.